South Aussie with Cosi.
Around the year 2000, I spent 3 years studying a Bachelor of Agriculture at Roseworthy College and right here at Waite campus. I was constantly blown away by the fact that I was studying on a place that was set on 54 hectares, yet only located 7 k's from the CBD. Yet so many of my city slicker mates who live just near here didn't even know the place existed. So I'm going to devote the next 15 minutes of South Aussie with Cosi to show you around Waite campus. But before we go any further, we better start with the history of this place, because it's a story of hard work and an act of generosity that I can't even comprehend.
It's amazing that Peter Waite would end up with such a grand estate, because he really came out with nothing. He was the third of 3 sons that migrated to South Australia from Scotland, and he, through ingenuity, hard work, a lot of innovation, was able to build up a fortune over the years as a very successful pastoralist and businessman. After the death of their son David in 1913, he drowned, he disappeared at sea, and from that tragedy the Waites made the decision to leave the house and the land to the university. And there's incredible generosity to give this all back. We owe a lot to the Scots, I think, here in South Australia. They really supported education, not only Peter Waite but Thomas Elder, Robert Barr-Smith, and they have this notion of giving back to the colony that they've done really well in. I think it's an incredibly generous legacy. It's one of the largest in South Australian history. I hope, I like to think that Peter Waite would love what we're doing with the house today, because he didn't leave it to the university to be a mausoleum to himself and his wife. He wanted it used, and we're very much a working museum. So we have concerts and we have conferences and talks and a whole variety of activities, as well as being open generally for people to come and have a look around.
This is my favourite house in the whole of Adelaide. It is Erbray House, the home of Peter Waite. There are 2 things that you need to know about this home. Number 1, it was believed to be the first home in South Australia to have electricity. And number 2, this was the first home in the whole of Australia to actually have a refrigerator.
In fact, it's the second Erbray house. The first was built about 1850 and was the family home of Robert Forsyth McGeorge, and he actually named Erbray, for his home parish in Scotland and Bray for a hill going down to a creek. The Waites moved into the first Erbray house in 1877 but found it was too small, and they had this beautiful 1891 house built so that they could entertain more lavishly. Today, Erbray House is really the historic and cultural heart of the Waite campus. We're a museum. We're open to the public on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, and we have a lot of other tours and events. And we also do a lot of education programs, especially for primary schools here as well. And best of all, Erbray House is free to the public, so we love having in visitors. Come bring the family during school holidays. We've got additional tours and of course the grounds around to explore. You can make a whole day of it here just in the historic precinct. The house is massive. It's got 10 main rooms and then a number of bedrooms. It actually is a really unique building. It isn't like other Victorian buildings. It's very light and airy. It was purpose-built for the site and is actually tucked into the hillside, so in summer the family could escape the heat and actually live downstairs, partly underground.
Could this be one of the earliest man caves in Australia? This is the billiard room of Mr. Peter Waite at Erbray House. This is actually the original billiard table, built back in like 1891, and this was the only room in Erbray House where Peter Waite allowed smoking. In fact, he kept some pipes up above the fireplace there in a locked cabinet for his guests.
My favourite room inside Erbray House is the library. It's got all these beautiful built-in bookshelves, including with their little leather dust covers. And you get a real sense of someone who's interested in ideas in that room. And I just love the fact that this is where Peter and his family perhaps thought about what they were going to do with their estate into the future. And it has a real calming feel to it. This house was really grand back in its day. It was decorated by an English designer called Alden Heaton. Now, he was very famous in England. In fact, his designs were used in the Titanic. This area here, the croquet lawn, the Adelaide Hunt Club would gather for its meets. The ladies in their fine gowns would be up on the balcony watching the riders take their jumps. They would have dinners for 100 in the ballroom of Erbray House. Mrs. Waite would have her ladies' afternoon teas. So it was very much a social hub of the Adelaide Plains.
The Erbray House Gardens, located here at the Waite campus, are absolutely beautiful. You've got to take your hat off to the 35 odd volunteers that help keep this area so amazing. And best of all, you can visit here with your family or your friends and spend an afternoon in the gardens for absolutely nothing. And as they say in the show, that's a bargain.
South Aussie with Cosi.
Welcome back, folks. I'm showing you around the Waite campus. Now, this is an area that's close to my heart and it's close to the CBD. Not only does it house 1,500 students and staff, it also spends over $120 million a year on research in agriculture and things like the vines behind me. Not only that, they have got research equipment here that's worth almost $300 million, and it's all within 7 Ks from the CBD.
It's a beautiful suburban setting here at the Waite campus. Many people drive by and don't realize what we have here on offer. We've got about 54 hectares of beautiful land that comprises both arboretum and we have agricultural plantings where we do research, as well as teaching for agriculture, food and wine.
Today I'm talking to you about the fact that DNA is in all living organisms. This is the Why Waite program that we have for the School of Agriculture, Food and Wine for the university. It's designed to encourage school groups to come through, do a few experiments that pertain to the campus, relate to our research, and give an insight into what we do for agricultural research that's not directly farming. And so we're going to put our extraction buffer in there. The Why Waite program runs for all school groups, predominantly secondary, but primary school are welcome. Our activities are free, and that is our DNA.
The Waite campus is unique in the world. We have a combination of a university together with some key partners. We have the South Australian Research and Development Institute. We have 2 divisions of CSRO. We have the Australian Wine Research Institute and a range of other partners that come together in a unique combination of people working on agriculture, food and wine. For young people, they can come and work in this atmosphere. One of the leading centers, not just in Australia, but in the world. We have more than 1,000 researchers on campus. So it's a number of things, the Waite campus. We have education, undergraduate and postgraduate studies, world-leading research, but we also have a tremendous range of facilities for the general public. People can come to Erbray House, they can visit our arboretum, they can go up into the conservation reserve and see kangaroos and koalas. And it's just here on the edge of Adelaide. It's a great place to come and enjoy yourself on the weekend. And if you're interested in the academic side of things, we have a range of programs that people can become involved in. The Waite campus is so important to South Australia for a number of reasons. We're building the next generation of scientists and technologists and other specialists who can support our agriculture, food and wine industries. And we have world-class research that's looking at, for example, the grains industry, breeding of new crops that are going to be able to meet the challenges of salinity and drought and other challenges that we're going to see, particularly in the face of climate change. We're working to anticipate some of those challenges so that our plants are ready for them.
Agriculture research is at the heart of what Waite campus is all about. And agriculture here in South Australia is worth over $1 billion annually. And here's something you might not have known, that 80% of the cereal varieties that are grown here in South Australia by our farmers, those varieties came from here and they were bred at the Waite campus. And also famous brands like San Remo, they use varieties of wheat that again were bred right here at Waite.
Most people would be familiar with the San Remo brand, and the breeding program's had a very rich history with San Remo over the years. And what we actually do is actually generate those varieties that growers then adopt, that then San Remo then buys to make those pasta products. I've been here 15 years now, and I guess one of the things that sticks in my head is the rich history that it provides from a plant breeding context. When you think about plant breeding, I guess it sustains humankind as we know it. Without plant breeding, you don't have varieties that growers want to adopt and therefore produce the food that we basically rely upon day to day. When you reflect back 80, 90 years ago and the sorts of machinery that they had accessible to them when they did plant breeding, would have been a lot of hand cutting with implements that were designed to harvest the plots. We've got a state-of-the-art piece of machinery that retails for around $500,000. It enables us to work through roughly 20 to 25,000 plots per annum and harvesting that material and enabling us to gauge whether one of those representative plots, which is roughly 1.5 metres wide by 5 metres long, weighs as good as a variety that's already been released into the marketplace.
South Aussie with Cosi.
Welcome back, folks. I'm showing you behind the scenes of SA's Waite campus. You've probably driven past it 100 times. Now you get to have a look inside. It's not just for the students that study there, it's also great for the agriculture here in SA.
We have nearly 70% of the wine research in Australia is done on the Waite campus. And that's because we have the Australian Wine Research Institute, we have the CSIRO, we have SARDI, and the university all combined in a wine innovation cluster that works together in collaboration to support our wine industry.
Not many cities around the world could boast having a vineyard so close to their CBD. Adelaide, of course, can. And here at the Waite campus, they grow 11 varieties of grapes. That's for teaching and also research as well. But it's not just the vineyards they've got so close to the heart of Adelaide. These guys at Waite campus have also got a state-of-the-art winery.
Australian wine industry is really significant in terms of the total volume of production for the whole of Australia. And so the Waite campus is really the starting place for many grape growers and wine producers to launch their careers. We like to teach our students how to grow grapes and how to make wine. So it's great having the vineyards here on site so the students can actually walk amongst the vines and be part of what's going on in the vineyard. And then when they harvest their fruit, they'll take it up to the winery and learn the different processes up there for making different styles of wine. We love getting the community involved in our research as well. So we often have wine tasting trials where we want consumers to come in. So we're interested in their opinions of different styles of wine. So they can come along and do a tasting and tell us how much they like or dislike certain wines.
A lot of people in South Australia would simply not know that the Waite campus has the largest number of agricultural researchers in the Southern Hemisphere. More than 1,000 researchers work on the campus here. And they're supporting students. So we have around 900 undergraduate students, we have 200 PhD students, and a range of master's students all working together here on the campus. And so, again, together, it's a great think tank for the future of South Australia.
Over 40% of the students here at Waite are actually international students, which is great for the South Australian economy. International students, and we've got like 30,000 of them here in SA, pump loads of money back into our economy. Why do they come here? Well, they come to Waite for reasons like this. This research facility is state-of-the-art and known around the world. I mean, have a look at it. These plants are individually potted. They've got scales at the base of each one. They get certain amounts of water allocated. They're all individually tagged. It is simply amazing the lengths they go to here at Waite to make sure that the research is done properly and world standards as well. It's incredible.
There's a really lovely mixture of old and really contemporary modern buildings with fantastic research facilities in them. It's a real pleasure to be here as a student because you get to experience such a lovely environment to work in.
We often joke internally we're the best kept secret in South Australia, and one of the things that we're trying to do is to raise awareness of what we have here. It's a beautiful setting, it's got history behind it, also some cutting edge science, and really it's a combination of things that makes this place so unique.
It absolutely blows me away that you can just walk around on your lunch break and see a koala, or look out the office window and see a possum in its nest, or some galahs hanging out every day.
For anyone who's watching this who's not been here before, I'd just like to invite you to come to the Waite campus, see what we have on offer, come and visit our gardens, look at our arboretum, go to the sports ground, have a workout, or walk up in the hills and enjoy our 122 hectares of native bushland with kangaroos and koalas. And also you can arrange to visit some of the facilities here. We're proud to show off some of the world-leading facilities we have supporting our agriculture, food and wine industries.
Well, that's all we've got time for. I hope you've enjoyed your look around Waite campus, 54 massive hectares, only 7 k's from the CBD. It is South Australia's first, best and biggest research precinct here in SA, and it is something that is truly unique. And can you believe, all thanks to the generosity of one man, Mr. Peter Waite, who donated all of this all of those years ago. Simply amazing. Let's hope it stays this way for generations to come. It is such an asset for South Australia. Remember, you don't have to work or study here to enjoy the facilities at Waite campus. Everybody's welcome. There are loads of parklands, loads of gardens, and of course there's a historic Herbre House Museum as well. And best of all, it's all free. I'll see you next time. Good dog.